things are going to start making a little bit more sense, in particular when it comes to the actual January 2022, and specifically when it comes to you, my gorgeous Aries. This in itself is going to lead towards you opening your eyes, towards you realize what exactly you should realize at this stage, at this point of your life. This is not going to be your turning point just yet, but most certainly you are going to find yourself on a rather specific path where you are going to need to gather the necessary strength, and that necessary strength is going to reflect on your confidence, and your confidence is going to reflect on you wanting more out of life, you wanting more out of the specific situation when it comes to your life. You just simply realizing that sometimes in this life, the certain things come to an end, but at the same time it's entirely down to you, and it entirely depends on your specific spiritual journey when you're going to become aware what you're going to become aware of. That in itself is going to be absolutely superb when it comes to the fact that it is the beginning of the year, when it comes to the fact that you are going to start something really big, really important, and really sacred, because most certainly after that moment in time, you're going to find yourself on a crossroads this month, and this is absolutely so important when it comes to you, because whichever way you go, you will actually go towards the specific way which is most certainly going to bring you so much more into your life. But at the same time, you have to remember, you just must remember how important the actual balance is. If something doesn't make sense to you, you just remove yourself from that particular situation, and also remove yourself from that particular way of thinking. But on another hand, what you also need to remember, to avoid the actual toxic people, to avoid the actual toxic situations, to avoid the actual toxic conversations, because they are currently at the moment like a draining quite a lot when it comes to people, and it does kind of, unfortunately, does affect your way of thinking, and it does affect your way of planning. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Aries, and it's for January 2022. So this reading is for you, my gorgeous Aries, and it's for January 2022. I have to get used to it now, saying 2022. We are not 2021 anymore. Thank God for that. My God, I suppose it needs to get worse in order to get better. Do you know what, my gorgeous Aries? This month in general is, it's going to bring you a really great starting point. It is not just yet going to make and create like a huge, massive turning point, but you are going to specifically find yourself this month where you're just going to start feeling it again. It's the energy and the vibration. It's just going to kind of like respond to you in such a way where not that long ago you were going like a little bit against the current, and this now in itself is going to bring you a really important reward, which is going to manifest, and it's going to happen to you in a form of an idea. Your number this month, it's number 1178. 1178 is your number when it comes to the actual numerology, and this is a very important number because at the same time it means that you're going to feel a very strong spiritual connection this month, and you're not going to be able to explain where this is actually coming from. And specifically when it comes to the actual 11th of January, yes, specifically when it comes to the actual 11th of January, this is the time you need to pay attention, because the news, the information that you're going to get, it's going to answer to you quite a lot in terms of having control back over your life. I'm not saying that you've lost control over your life. I'm just saying that, this month, it is just going to be the direct response of how much you trust yourself, how much you believe in yourself, how much optimistic you are, that much protection, spiritual protection you're actually going to have. This number in numerology means that you are going to have a very, very important idea. This idea that you are going to have this month, you just pretty much strictly need to pay attention to first 11 days in January. The first 11 days in January is just basically going to be pretty much about you just like going back, at some moment in time, when things were like a little bit different in your life, when you were so much more like things were so much more colorful in the best possible way when it comes to optimism, positivity, and things like that. But it's not about that. It's about feelings, it's about emotions that you're going to have, that you will go through, that are just going to remind you how important it is to trust yourself and follow your intuition, because the specific part of your life is just going to be like saying, hello, my darling, you know, like, which is like somewhere like in your past, you know, there is a specific part of your life that is just going to reveal itself. It's just basically, so it's to do with the idea that you will have in January, okay? But it's to do with also part of your life at some moment in the past when you wanted to do this, you were thinking about it, you wanted to start this, you wanted to start a certain progress, but maybe you just thought, oh, it just wasn't the right time. Well, if it's not the right time now, then when is it? And this is exactly how you're gonna feel. First of all, it's gonna be that little bit of like a nostalgia that you're gonna feel, and this is gonna help you to reconnect with a specific part of your past. And now this is what I'm talking about. It's about this idea, which is almost, it's gonna feel so real, it's gonna be so important. And you know what? The last 6 months are pretty much so strongly connected to this part of your life. So it's to do with an idea that is going to be pretty much so revealed to you within the first 11 days in January, my gorgeous Aries, indeed. So within the first 11 days in January, this idea is going to be revealed, and it's pretty much so you will know what this is, because it's a strong connection with you and a certain point in your past. By the same time, it's just going to make you feel very active, and it's going to make you feel very determined when you kind of think, when you're kind of focusing on it, when you're thinking about it. And that at the same time, you know, it's connected to things that you are doing, things that you're focusing on, and things that you're experienced about, you know. This is all part of this. At the same time, what you need to remember is just to pay attention to the balance. The January in itself, it's not great time to go out there and just spend all your money, you know, to go and overspend, blah, 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 and things like that. No, baby, no. January is the time to kind of pay attention to that idea, to kind of see how you're going to get there, to just start, you know. It's just going to take a while until you properly get there, but it's all about one step at a time. You don't need to rush, but it's all about opening yourself to the whole new world of possibilities that you wouldn't normally have. So it's not really like kind of like so much about spending, overspending and things like that, but it's more like about planning, you know, in what part of your life you should kind of project more energy towards. So this is something that you need to remember, you know. On another hand, my gorgeous Aries, also, you know, the certain person who is a Leo, or the certain person who is like a Leo, maybe in horoscope or ascendant, or like the moon in Leo, somebody who has got a very strong Leo energy. It could be the actual person who is a Leo, but it also could be an ascendant Leo that sometimes can take over, or the person who is the moon in Leo, you know, that energy can take over very often. So somebody who's a Leo, it's also going to be playing an important role for you this month, because about a certain inspiration and something about timing, it's going to become absolutely evident through somebody who is a Leo. Because like you will get this great sense of the timing, how long is something gonna take, through somebody who is a Leo in horoscope. And this is going to be important when it comes to the future planning. And it's also going to provide you with like some kind of missing message or a missing information, if I can say that. So on another hand, you know, you need to remember that this month it is going to bring you progress, very important information, very important news you're going to have about your own progress. And it's just going to surprise you, because it's going to come kind of happen and manifest just out of the blue. But most certainly it is just going to bring you confidence, and it's also going to bring you inspiration, you know, and it's going to bring you also the certain public recognition that you actually wanted. On another hand, that also, you know, this progress, it's also going to make you aware of the certain devilish person or the certain devilish group of people who haven't got anything to do with you necessarily, but then again they are playing like a really big and quite heavy part in all this. You will know what to avoid, and you will also know that something that you have done in the past not that long ago, you know, something on your own terms, that now this is going to start paying off. Like you were maybe aware of the certain person or a certain group of people, and now you're going to get like a really powerful confirmation, and it's to do with like maybe certain lies, you know, a little bit of deception, you know, trick trickery, dishonesty, and just basically people that take advantage of other people, or people that you should be cautious of. So, very kind of powerful revelation here, but that revelation is so superb because at the same time it's going to make you feel so good about yourself. Something is going to feel like really rewarding, in particular when it comes to you sticking to your own path and like trusting yourself, believing yourself, and things like that. It's something is going to feel really rewarding, not because, oh my god, this person or this group of people are so deceptive and things like that. No, baby, no, but it's about you feeling rewarding, like maybe, if you go like a little bit against the currents and things like that, it's that type of feeling, because you're almost like kind of like it's gonna awaken something within you, almost like you will want to like connect and reconnect, when it comes to the actual your own spirituality. This is also going to be playing an important role, because your own spirituality is going to be calling you quite a lot. Your own spirituality is going to need a little bit more from you. So on another hand, you just need to open up to yourself and follow your own third psychic eye. Follow your own path, because the more you do this, the more rewarding your life is actually going to be, especially at the moment. So it's almost like as if you will want to have like a little bit of a ritual, whatever the ritual means to you, maybe connecting and reconnecting with the nature, maybe like a little bit of meditation, maybe a little bit of a sacred grounding. It almost feels like, you see, this is what these feelings and energies of like, oh yeah, baby, reconnection with your own spirituality. Spirituality is more important than so much that is going on at the moment, because it's so much based on like not really too honest, but anyway, so it's about your own spirituality, and it's about you wanting to take this spirituality on the next level. This is very important, and at the time when you want to like kind of like do something pretty much so giving a little bit more energy towards something that you believe, you're also gonna realize that somebody who's very consistent in your life, somebody who's like kind of like the certain person who the certain person who is very consistent in your life is actually going to be playing an important role here also when it comes to you reaching a quite significant news, in particular when you were so indecisive, and now you will know which part of your life to, after that moment in time, after you receive this news through somebody who's like very consistent in your life, you will know which part of your life to actually pretty much so invest in the terms of energy. But before, you were stuck in the middle because it was all too much kind of like it all became kind of indecisive when it comes to the certain proceedings and things like that. You were unable to make a decisions, so this is going to be brilliant, but it's at the same time going to start the process of your own personal transformation. When the transformation happens, you also need to understand that the specific part of your life came to an end. When it comes to your way of thinking, it's all about trusting yourself and moving on with your life. Just remember, you are pretty much so gonna something is gonna come to you also, like just out of the blue, just from the deepest part of yourself, in particular when it comes to the actual part of your life that you feel very strong anticipation about, in terms of wondering, in terms of curiosity, in the terms of the whole new journey. At the same time, you are gonna recognize a very, very great, amazing, brilliant, fantastic, mind-blowing potential. But that potential that you're going to recognize by the end of the January 2022, it's also going to require from you to be as open-minded as you can, to trust yourself, but also to explore the specific parts of your life that needs to be explored no matter what. So this is so important. And also on another hand, try to not to kind of hold on too tight, because sometimes when you're holding on things around you too tight, it can prevent you from moving forward. So just kind of like, if you're worrying about something, if you're worrying about financial situation, if you're worrying about things like that in life, just say to yourself that you're going to be absolutely fine, and don't worry about this, because it can kind of slow you down until you reach this very necessary point in your life with your own understanding, when you know and realize that it's subconsciously you can kind of slow yourself down by worrying a little bit too much. You just say everything is going to be okay and just move on with your life. This this is rather important. Sorry. On another hand, when it comes to the actual nutrition and things like that, things that you should be doing right now, my gorgeous Aries, throughout this actual month, is just to be, you need to drink as much as the actual organic dandelion tea from the whole plant, as much as you can, but the root is rather important. So the whole dandelion tea from the whole plant, I would rather suggest to drink because it's going to help you to detoxify your body, it's going to help you to rejuvenate yourself. On one hand, it's going to make you feel so much better, but on another hand, it's going to help you pretty much so to get rid of the actual unnecessary toxins in your life. On another hand, what else I was going to suggest you, my gorgeous Erin, is also please do pay attention to things like something like a little bit of stress, you know, like a natural vitamin B complex is going to be super important when it comes to the actual stress, you know. And also you need to understand that the actual, if you do get a natural B complex, you need to take it like first thing in the morning, because it's going to give you energy. I know that you're going to lack in energy just a little bit, but it's not going to affect you. So B vitamin complex is going to help you with energy, it's going to help you with like a stress levels, it's going to help you with the entire digestive system. But you need to make sure that the folic acid is made in a folate way, and you need to make sure that the B vitamin 12 is made in a natural methylcobalamin. It needs to be this particular version of B12 natural instead of the fake B12. Okay, so this is something I highly recommend you to take. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or your GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now my gorgeous Erin is going on the very first date of the actual January. The 1st of January is going to be quite important because you know, you are actually going to feel just a little bit of like a maybe thick and a little bit of heavy energy, you know. By the same time, it's just going to kind of highlight the certain part of your life that is actually making you feel quite insecure, but that specific part of your life also delayed so many things, you know. So you just need to basically pretty much so to remember to actually the first of January, this is what you're going to be kind of paying attention to. But at the same time, it's going to open something, is actually going to open your eyes here. It's going to open your eyes here, and you're going to realize how important it is. And it's in pretty much, it's going to start on the 1st of January like that, and it's going to go until the 11th of January, you know. This is going to open your eyes, but it's going to start from the 1st of January, and by the time you get to the 11th of January, and it's all about you realizing that you must not follow the old ways, you know. You must not follow the old ways. This is what you have to remember, because it's connected to the part of your life that slowly came to an end, part of your life that maybe became like a fantasy, you know. But in a way, when you're hoping for something to happen that is actually not going to happen, not because it's a bad thing or anything like that, but purely because you have learned some kind of lesson through this. So that naturally just came to an end. The earlier you move on, the happier you're going to be. The earlier you realize what this is, the more closer you are going to be to that specific idea that I'm talking about. So this is something really important, because it was bringing you down, it was making you feel negative, and now this nice little turnaround is just going to help you to think in a different way, but also to look forward to things you know, ahead of you, instead of hoping for things that slowly came to an end. You are going to have a very strong, this is going to reflect on you, the way you feel, it's going to reflect on your family, it's going to reflect on the people who you mean the most, but ultimately it's going to reflect on your own happiness. So it's pretty much so you must pay attention to what your calling is, because this is pretty much so connected to your own calling, which is yet again going to be highlighted within the last 7 days in January 2022. This is something that is going to make you feel happy, but also something that is going to open your eyes and help you realize, you know, the need to move on. You will want more from life than you're experiencing, finding yourself on a powerful spiritual quest, but at the same time you will want to choose to make big life changes. And this is all about planning, realizing, and also paying attention to the actual change in priorities as well. What I was going to recommend to you, my gorgeous Erinis, would be this gorgeous strawberry quartz quartz crystal. It's absolutely gorgeous, and this has got such an amazing, mind-blowing, powerful energy, which is stimulating us to think in a positive way, which is stimulate the flow of happiness. It makes us being excited about things, but it's also absolutely superb when it comes to us being excited about things that we should be excited in this life, instead of just worrying and thinking negatively. This gorgeous strawberry quartz pendant is just going to bring you that relevant vibration, and it's also fantastic when it comes to like opening our heart and talking, communicating, and not keeping things down that we shouldn't keep down. And it's fantastic against fear, against nervousness, against anxiety, against stress, and all these negative feelings and vibration that we go through. Every single time when you need like a little bit of boost, I would absolutely highly suggest to actually have this gorgeous strawberry quartz, because it's just almost immediately has got this power to make us feel positive, optimistic, and especially if we have to like express ourselves, if we have to talk about something really important, if we have to do something really important. This is absolutely brilliant little crystal. This comes with a gorgeous sterling silver setting. Sorry. This comes with a gorgeous sterling silver chain, not set. This comes with a gorgeous sterling silver chain, and to buy this gorgeous strawberry quartz pendant, the link is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you are also supporting my channel as well. The next important date, my gorgeous Aries, is going to be on the 11th of January. Now, this is a big mama moment, because you are gonna have this very, very important specific message on the 11th of January. In fact, 11th, 12th and the 13th of January, it's all going to be about this important message, important news that you're going to have. My Lord, you know, things are going to start making sense here like there is no tomorrow. On one hand, you're going to be like, oh my God, something unbelievable is going to be attached to it, like, oh my Lordy Lord. But then on another hand, you know, somewhere deep in your mind, subconscious mind, you knew how this particular situation is going to play out. The bottom line is that you are going to feel a very strong control over a situation, which is going to give you strength, courage, energy, determination. You need to pay attention to what is making you feel so determined when it comes to the next step, next stage of your life. But it is connected to the certain accomplishment, things that you have already done as well, things that you have been focusing on, things that you have wanted to achieve, so it's all going to be connected to that particular thing and or situations. But also at the same time, you're just going to feel very much so strong confidence, and that in itself is going to point you towards very, very important directions. So you need to pay attention in between the 11th of January and the 17th of January 2022 specifically. There is going to be a very strong and powerful realization that you're going to have an opportunity it's coming, that you were aware of before, but now you're going to be aware of that little bit extra about the unlimited possibilities around. So this is very, very important opportunity, which is going to bring you hope, which is going to bring you an inspiration, which is going to make you feel so good about yourself, which is going to remind you how things used to be like, for example, in your life and things like that. So in between the 11th and the 17th of January, my gorgeous Aries, you just need to pay attention to this absolutely mind-blowing opportunity. It is just going to make you feel rather vavavumish about your life again, but it's also at the same time, going to provide you with a certain challenges in front. I'm sorry to say this, but this is life. We always have challenges, but these challenges are going to feel different. These challenges are going to feel good. These challenges are going to feel sacred. And this is how you will know what this is, because on one hand, this is purely because your personal power and assertiveness, is portrayed with your own kindness. And this is also very important, that, you will be aware of the certain people around you who maybe don't know, maybe who are a little bit lost. So if you are aware of people who are like a little bit lost around you, and some of them are going to make themselves known, just try to kind of offer your hand as well, because I can see that you are going to be kind of like a quite powerful beacon of light when it comes to healing and when it comes to helping out people understand quite a lot about life as well. So you will have a rather wise January, so don't remember that. But also on another hand, this is all going to open your eyes in such a way where you're going to realize that you're stronger than you think. This is important. So also that opportunity that I said, that the challenges that are going to be connected to this ahead is just going to be pretty much so to do with what you already know. You have got the answer to these challenges. You know how to respond to these challenges. You know already how to react to this challenging. You already know how to deal with these challenges. So this is why, because the answer is going to be within. So this is why this is so important. Okay, another thing I was going to recommend you with this gorgeous Seraphinate. Look at this, how gorgeous this is, and absolutely gorgeous. This is also brand new pendant in my store. This is fantastic when it comes to healing vibration. This is fantastic when it comes to the actual return of our own power. This is brilliant when it comes to our own motivation. This is brilliant when it comes to the actual healing of like nerves and things like that, brain and nerves and things like that, in particular when we go through quite a lot in life, when we are kind of like go through quite a lot of stress and we feel nervous and we just want to brush off that energy away from us so we can carry on. This is absolutely brilliant to wear every single time when you feel negative, when you feel awful, when you feel nervous, when you feel bizarre, when you feel strange, when you feel like you're part of the different dimension, when you have to discuss something really important and you feel like, oh God, this is absolutely brilliant. Almost instantly just brings you that magical power where you just come out of yourself in the right way. This comes with a gorgeous sterling silver setting. This comes with gorgeous sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Erinis, you're also supporting my channel as well. The last date that I would like to talk about is the 31st of January, of course. Now, the 31st of January is something very much so it's going to be highlighted about your own skill. You see, this month is pretty much about you focusing on parts of you that are important to you, and on those parts of you that you want to take on the next level, and those parts of you that you want to do next, you see. So this is why this is so important. So pay attention on the 31st of January, because the certain skill of yours, it's going to be highlighted like there is no tomorrow, and that skill is also going to answer your question, how successful is something going to be. On one hand, you need to understand to have patience, because you need to wait for this specific harmony to come through where you're going to realize exactly how you're going to bring together things into a perfect union when it comes to the actual management in your life. But on another hand, this is going to require a certain adjustment and also an influence from someone very important in your life is just going to be playing an important role here as well. Brilliant. And it's going to take exactly 25 days from the 31st of January. It's going to take exactly 25 days. These 25 days are going to be so important, my lordy lord. These 25 days is going to be so important when it comes to you coming to terms with a specific situation, but also when it comes to coming up with an important plan, because that it's going to bring you success, and that is going to bring you financial security, and that is going to give you the ability to come home to yourself, okay, to stand your own ground. When it comes to your own grounding, this is really important, but also when it comes to happiness, joy, pleasure, and also big change. You will be able to make and create big changes, specifically when it comes to your home and the immediate environment. And on another hand, there are going to be the certain events that you're going to become aware of on the 31st of January, okay? And these events are going to pretty much so are going to seem like, oh, you can go to this event at that point, or you can go at that point, but I wouldn't wait for the second point or third point or fourth point or fifth point. These events is just something that you have to, on one hand, trust your instincts, trust your intuition, but then on another hand, you need to stay focused. Okay, you need to stay focused, and you need to see how things feel to you. You need to see how your own personal vibration responds to things, because some of the things are going to be, some of the opportunities that you're going to become aware of, you will think that you will be able to do this later and then later, but then again, the bottom line is that you, once again, you will be able to kind of to detect exactly what feels right and what doesn't feel right to you. So this is what you need to remember. Okay, my gorgeous Aries. So now I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you who are in relationship. You know, my gorgeous Aries, this is for January 2022. For those of you who are in relationship, you know, this is really going to be all about a certain decision. You're going to find yourself really stumbling upon the problem where both of you are going to be really, really indecisive. And you both will know the answer to this indecisiveness, because it is just almost going to be like a little change of mind that you're both going to have as a couple. So you wanted to do something, you wanted to change something, you wanted to start something, but now you will see that this is not the right time. So this is why you're going to find yourself being rather indecisive. You will decide to kind of like just kind of take one step at a time, which is exactly what you should do, because now at the moment with this part of your life you need to be a little bit careful. As soon as you realize that you're going to take slightly longer time, you are, without even realizing, going to find yourself on an adventure, and that adventure, both of you as a couple, is going to require from you to be rather daring indeed. This is a lot to do with things that are going on at the moment in your life, but it's also a lot to do with your own future, but also with the fact that you need to remember to pay attention to your intuition again, and also be as adventurous and explorative as much as you possibly can. On another hand, for those of you, my gorgeous Aries, who are actually single and ready to mingy, my gorgeous Aries, you know, there is going to be a very important celebration that you are going to have. It's the certain problem that was really kind of like draining a lot of kind of energy from you, especially when it comes to the last 3 months of your life. The last 3 months, it was all about a certain problem. You needed to come up with something, with an answer, with a conclusion, but you just couldn't. It was very heavy, it was very difficult, and this just drained like so much out of you, of your own personal energy. And trust me, you know, that is slowly coming to an end. So something that made you so indecisive over the last 3 months, now most certainly, pretty much so, the answer to that problem is coming in a form of an important conclusion, which is just going to make you feel so good about yourself. And that conclusion, it's almost immediately going to make you feel very inspirational. It's going to make you feel even artistic, but at the same time it is going to be connected to the brand new path of your life that you are about to change. Or this is going to be completely new place where you go to, or this is going to be like kind of like maybe you will just change something on daily basis, but a certain change is going to put you on the path where you are gonna start sharing your journey with somebody very, very interesting. That person is not going to make themselves known, and just yet in January. That person is slowly going to make themselves known in February and March 2022. But just remember, one step at a time. With this change, with this new beginning, with this new start, you're going to become aware of exactly who this person you're going to become aware of, sorry, not exactly who this person is just yet, but you're going to become aware of the certain part of your life is going to change. So whether this is going to be you going somewhere new every single week or every single day, or this is going to just make you bring a little change into your life, like on a daily basis, you know, one little spiritual domino changes everything. But that particular change, whichever change this manifests itself through, whichever change this manifests itself by, it is going to put you on the path with this with other people, with other group of people who are going to become like a prominent people in your life. But apart from that, most certainly, most importantly, someone who is very significant, who is about to enter your life. Okay, my gorgeous Aries, I love you all so much. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate you sticking with me for all this time. And also at the same time, I wish you a happy new year 2022. I wish you Merry Christmas, you know, Happy Holidays, you know. I wish you all the best. Stay strong, stay true to yourself. I love you all so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light, my gorgeous Erini. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.